Sandra off their account for our existing business because she seemed too junior. Story 3. What exactly are you saying? Recently, I was invited by one of my clients, the CEO of a small but highly successful investment management firm, to sit in on his weekly leadership team meeting in Toronto. He asked me to take notes and then comment on the effectiveness of each presenter. The meeting began with a young but senior asset management executive going on and on about how great their U.S. office in Boston was. He then paused for effect and summarized, "So you see, it's essential that we leverage Boston on a go-forward basis if we are going to grow AUM." The audience looked around at one another, at him, and then again at one another. After about 10 seconds of silence, someone started clapping, convinced the matter was mercifully closed. I knew I was supposed to sit quietly, but if no one else would ask, then I would. I put my hand up and said, "Excuse me, what exactly does it mean to leverage your Boston office?" The speaker fixed me with a puzzled stare and then silently appealed to his CEO for help. When the CEO looked back at him with a blank look, the young executive realized no help would be forthcoming. He turned back to me and with a deflated tone replied, "Well, I don't exactly know, but there must be something good we can do with them." The ramifications of jargon. These 3 stories have one thing in common. The language being used was getting in the way of leadership. In the first story, Jessica's boss was unable to tell her directly that he didn't think she had what it took to develop her team, and that he was going to offer her a severance package. He used baffling corporate speak to avoid telling her the truth, and he hoped that he could get her instead to resign and pursue other opportunities. Neither happened, and the result was 3 months of tension followed by a termination and litigation. In the second story, Sandra's technical brilliance and expertise were undermined by her weak and self-deprecating language. The client could not see past her projected lack of confidence to the value she could deliver and lost all confidence in her. Sandra's linguistic minimization was not only detrimental in this interaction, but as Jeff told me, ultimately held her back from advancing to partner, where her skills and sharp mind would have easily been the equal of others. In the third story, the young asset management executive was using jargon to mask the reality that he hadn't developed anything of substance to share with his colleagues. The result was that his audience was confused, could not understand what he was saying, and ultimately felt a lack of confidence in his ability to play a growing leadership role in the firm. Jargon is everywhere in the workplace. I wish I could say that these examples of linguistic ambiguity, self-minimization, and corporate jargon are isolated incidents, but they're anything but. In my 15-year career as a leadership communication coach, and now as the CEO of a firm whose sole purpose is to help our clients communicate as leaders, I am repeatedly confronted by individuals whose use of language confuses and alienates their audiences while undermining their ability to lead. The concise Oxford English Dictionary defines language in 2 distinct ways. 1. The method of human communication, either spoken or written, consisting of the use of words in a structured and conventional way. 2. The system of communication used by a particular community or country. Implicit in these definitions is that language is used by people to communicate ideas in a way that is understood by the audience. It is the choice to use both a structured and conventional set of words that allows both speaker and audience to grasp the ideas being expressed. It is a common system chosen by a community or country to communicate together. Yet, as anyone who has worked in the corporate world, or in government or the not-for-profit sector can tell you, language is seldom a path to clarity. Instead, if asked to define language, most tenured corporate workers might describe it as follows: a jargon-filled, often baffling set of words, some of which actually exist, and others which are constructed to demonstrate superiority and knowledge at the expense of the audience. A collection of empty cliches and confusing buzzwords that distract the audience from the lack of clear thinking being expressed by the speaker. A hieroglyphic-like amalgamation of acronyms.